skateboarders do look at the landscape differently. Maybe it's the urban wasteland, or maybe it's just things that architects and men have made for other purposes, and we look at them and go, that would be great to skate. Foundation came about, I guess. It's something that personally I'd always wanted to do. I just thought, well, we're so rich in the Western world, we should give to people that really need it. We worked out that we were giving a life-changing, lifetime water supply to a community for $10 a head.
I started collecting pretty much from the day I started skateboarding. Back in the 70s, the magazines were cool because they had these mail order adverts. You could select a board, saw the page out, send it off to the mail order company. What got me into skating was the craze of 75. At the time, there were no skate parks, so our skate park was the hill at the front. And we used to bomb that hill every day after school, sort of had driveways off to the side. And we could go down the footpath and carve these driveways, and that was our first skate park. 1978, we had a skate park built called Skatopia, and they had contests every year, and they had a junior division, and I was able to enter 12-year-old and actually won. It's important for people to learn the history, guys that were part of the history, to see the history, and to see that it's come a long way.
I started mid-70s, I was probably 12, 13, until skateboarding began booming again in the mid-80s. For all of that period through the late 70s, there was a really, really tight group of guys who were skating anything we could find. That's the period that I cover on my Vic Skate History website, because there's simply no record of it. A lot of those places were drainage ditches or spillways or pipes when you could find them. There was always something a little tainted about it. It was a dunny roof, or it was a sewage settling pond, or it was a drain, or it was never anything particularly nice. Skateboarding was really about whatever shapes and banks you could find.
Skateboarding is freedom. When you're cruising down a street, with just a few inches between you and the road, there's an amazing sense of flight. It wasn't uncommon to be skating down the street in Australia and have people throwing things at you and hurling abuse at you, and it was something that was definitely unaccepted. People would give you weird looks, and that made it even cooler because you knew you were part of something that was unique and special. Because I was involved in punk rock, where fans of the music would create fanzines, I was inspired to do something like that for skating. Our mate Paul Postma and I got together and we actually came up with Australia's first skateboarding magazine called Perfect Transition. This was a magazine by skaters and for skaters, and it took off from there. These are the guys.